Hi, welcome to my fourth video in the series Product Analytics 101 for product managers in B2B startups. In this video, we are here. In this video, I will dive into a concrete example of an onboarding flow and a corresponding onboarding funnel report to show you how you can derive actionable insights from there. So how you can gather product ideas or come up with a product strategy. And so let's imagine you are a product manager at a fictional B2B SaaS company called Wednesday.com, and you're building an all-in-one project management tool. And that tool allows users to do a variety of things. For example, they can create internal project budgets, but they can also create client proposals. And you can also track time on project level. So you can see if your employees are maybe going overtime or over budget, etc. And so here's an example of a onboarding flow, which starts with a survey/wizard that helps new users to kind of get set up. And also asks them what is the first thing they want to do. You ask that in step 3 over here. What do you want to do first? Do you want to first create a budget, create a client proposal, or track my time, right? So you ask them this so that you know which area of the product to send them to first. And you can maybe trigger a walkthrough there, right? So what you do is you trigger events on the primary CTAs of each of these pages. So for example, there's an event triggered on the sign up page when they click sign up. And there's one on continue on the onboarding step 1. You trigger an event on onboarding step 2 if they choose either internal or external project, etc. Right? So you trigger events for each of these steps, and that allows you to build a detailed onboarding funnel, which could look a bit like this. So in your product analytics tool, as mentioned in the previous videos, I personally like to use June when I work with B2B startups. B2B SaaS startups, because they have that nice company and user level analytics. So you can build a funnel report that looks a bit like this. And if you put them side by side, let's say this is the flow up there, and below you see the corresponding funnel. So we see what all the steps kind of entail. And below you can see how users are flowing through these steps and where they are dropping off, right? And so the first thing that you might notice is that we have a pretty dramatic drop off between steps steps 2 and 3. So onboarding step 2 and onboarding step 3. So that's basically this question: what do you want to do first? It seems that users are dropping off there. They're getting overwhelmed or something. You don't know. So a few options come to mind what we can do to fix this, right? Because we don't want so many users dropping off. First option is we could just remove the step. Done, right? The step is causing friction. Let's just toss it out. But I don't think that's the best option in our case, because there is such a thing as positive friction. And because we're building this multi-use case product, right? It can build budgets, it can build proposals, it can track time. We need to somehow figure out what our new users came for, right? What they're trying to do first, so that we can send them to the right feature. And so maybe there's another way to capture that information, but removing the steps seems simple to reduce the friction, but this might actually be positive friction that you need so that you can guide them to aha later on, right? The second option is you could make the step skippable. So you could allow users, for example, to select, I just want to browse the product, because maybe there's some users who don't come with any clear goal in mind. They just want to check out what your product does, right? They want to see what it looks like. And a third option that you have is to improve on this step. And for example, users are struggling to understand what these 3 options mean. And so maybe you can explain them better with text, or with an image, or with a Giphy, like an image that moves, or even a product video, right? Who knows? So there's multiple options. And before we can select the right one, we need to understand why users are dropping off at this particular step. And qualitative data can help us uncover that why. And I personally lean heavily on shadowing for stuff like this. So I invite either new users, or users who signed up recently to the product, or I invite non-users, people who aren't users or customers at all, but who do fit my ICP, and I invite them to shadowing sessions, which can be either moderated or unmoderated. And basically, I invite them, when it's moderated, I invite them to a call where I ask them to share their screen with me and walk me through their process as they read through my website and tell me what they think. What does this product do? Is it for them? And then I let them try the product for the first time while still sharing their screen, and also while they narrate their thoughts. I'm trying to capture what they're thinking, and I can prod a bit, as in what was confusing here, why did you choose this option, etc. And so this helps a lot to uncover the why behind that what we see. Another thing that we might notice is we see a pretty big drop off, though not as bad as the other one, between onboarding step 3 and 4, right? We have 30 users and then we have 15 users. So maybe hypothesis, maybe asking users to invite their team members before they had a chance to explore the product is a bit of a turn off, right? So we can find out if that's the case, again, by supplementing with qualitative data, for example, through shadowing sessions, or by experimenting, just trying different stuff. Now, very important, although it might be very tempting to bury yourself in these kind of onboarding funnels and just kind of optimize and tweak and test, etc. Don't forget to zoom out and look at the more overarching, probably more real reasons why users might not make it through your onboarding flow. The first one being that your messaging or your landing page is drawing in the wrong audience or making false promises. The second one, the more painful one, is that your product might not be compelling or differentiated enough. Because especially if you're a new player, you need to be significantly better or cheaper than the market leader to convince users to switch to you. And so you can optimize this funnel until the cows come home, but if your product isn't anything special, you probably won't get far. Good luck.